PJ had his standing on business moment. Y'all kind of talked about in your introductory press conference kind of being a part of that culture. What can you tell the Mavs fans who maybe aren't familiar with your game of kind of what you're going to bring and that tenacity?
Same thing, different words. I'm standing on business. Aggressive, energy, defense, just being a dog on both sides of the floor. So if you don't know my game, I'm just a dog, man. Simple.
Right here in the front, Valencia King, Real Talk Sports. Appreciate your time. A non-basketball question. What was the most enjoyable part of your offseason that wasn't basketball related?
Most enjoyable, just being with my family and friends, per usual. I'm during the season, I don't get to as much, so being able to kick back with them for sure.
Going to this new season, if you could title this chapter in your life, what would you title it?
That's a good question. Winning season. Yes, ma'am.
Come on, winning season.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Big dubs. Thank you.
Naji, Noah Weber with the Smoking Cuban. What about your offensive game do you think the Mavericks are going to bring out to make you the best player that you can possibly be? And how do you see yourself fitting in lineups next to Luka and Kyrie?
I just think playing with these guys is going to be a lot more space and opportunity on the floor that necessarily wasn't there for me in New Orleans, and just be able to showcase, my playmaking ability. I shot it pretty good from the three last year. Hopefully, I shoot it better this year, even better. So I think just really being able to show my complete game and just showing that I can really shoot the ball.
Naji, Tim Cato, DLLS. You have a sneaky collection of highlight passes throughout your career. I'm just wondering where that developed, what areas of the floor do you think you're best at using that skill, and how you think it kind of translates to Dallas?
As far as I can remember, that's been the best thing I could do as far as the basketball court since I started playing. And just started getting credited now, but anywhere on the floor in transition, half court, I like to get guys involved. And fun fact, I used to give people a lot of credit when I was playing against them, think they were good or better than what they're supposed to be, or if they was on my team, he should have the ball. So I will always drive and kick, and I guess it played in my favor, to be honest, in a good way.
Hey, Naji, Mark Followell from the Mavs TV broadcast. Great to have you here. I love to ask the guys who started in the league on two-way contracts about their path. You've gone from that two-way contract when you first were with the Pelicans to obviously being a sought-after free agent, a rotation guy. Obviously, the journey isn't finished. But to go from where you were to where you are now, I mean, when you reflect on that, what do you think kind of the key was? Was it motivation from somebody in New Orleans, your own work ethic? What's your aspect and your perspective on traveling from where you were to where you are now?
I think it's just my mindset and the work I put in. No matter what, even in college, being undrafted, I just always felt the NBA was the place for me. So I worked towards it, and I never let nobody change how I believe in myself. And as you can see, I was right.
Back over here in the front, doing my journalistic IG research, you have a post that says, the blessing in being blessed is to be able to bless others.
Fact.
What does that mean to you, and as far as you've come along in your career, to have been able to do that for your family and your community?
I had so many meanings to it. Just being in the NBA and going to, my neighborhood in Pleasantville, where you probably have never even heard of, and kids being able to see me. I mean, I just feel like that's a blessing. I know how I felt when I seen somebody with any certain status back in the day when I was a kid. It motivated me. As far as just being a helping hand to my family, my friends, whatever they need. It don't even have to be money necessarily, just being there for them. And, that's basically it. Whatever they need, just being there to help out.
Quinn Cook as
Yes.
well. What does the NBA brotherhood or that brotherhood mean for you?
We're both from the same place, PG County. And, all in the same gyms, work out with the same trainers, have the same friends. So just a real genuine connection. And then, QC, he been a two-time NBA champion, college national championship, best point guard in the country in high school. So just being with him every day, meeting the connections I meet through him, just understanding the game on a different level, it's unbelievable.
You for your defense, but what would you say is the secret to being a really good defender? Is it more instincts? Is it discipline? Just what goes into it?
think it's just a mentality, if you want to do it or not. Simple as that, just most things in life. If you really want to do it or not, come down to it. It's my livelihood. If I don't do it, I wouldn't be sitting here right now, you know what I'm saying? So that's what it is.
How much, speaking of that, how much did you take notice last year of what Derrick Jones did? And he always said guarding Luka's in practices was about as hard as it got for him, even on the court. I don't know if this intensity is quite like that, but how much does going against a superstar every day in practice impact maybe or improve your team?
Oh, I definitely think it makes you better. Helps you understand the game a little bit more. You know, stars usually like to get the ball in certain spots or stuff like this. So it definitely helps me in the game. Guarding Zion and B.I. and C.J. wasn't easy in practice, and then in the game it was a little bit easy. So I think just getting constant reps, guarding those guys, and it's honestly a pleasure. It's like a cheat code. You know, I get to guard Luka in the game, and then no disrespect, but guard someone less of his caliber, you know, makes the game much easier. So.
All right, we got one more for Naji.
Hi, Dorothy Gentry with
How you
Mavs
doing?
Media. This summer, Dirk, at his charity event, talked about the acquisitions that the Mavs made this summer, and he specifically mentioned you
Yes, ma'am.
by name. So how does that make you feel that he thinks that you're a key piece for the Mavs this season?
Man, for my name to even coming out of Dirk Nowinski's mouth is unbelievable. So it's just a blessing, and I'm just so excited to be here. I've already met some of my favorite Hall of Famers in the world, Jason Kidd. And like I said, it's just unbelievable, and I just look forward to being that missing piece and, you know, accomplishing what we did last year.
It's been nothing but love since I got here from everybody, from top to bottom in the organization. I've known most of the guys already for either before the NBA, but most of the guys now in the NBA. But like I said, it's been nothing but love. Like, it's really a family around here since the day I got here, so I got nothing but smiles every time I step in the facility, really.
What are some of the things that you do well, and how can you impact this team, not only in the offensive end of the court, but the defensive end of the court?
Yeah, I feel like everybody kind of knows me as a 3-and-D guy for sure, but I feel like here with the unselfishness and just the amount of freedom everybody has, I'll be able to show more, just like how I did in New York. Whenever somebody was down or injured, I was always able to step up and kind of show more of my offensive game. And then defensively, just taking a matchup every night, every time I'm on the court, trying to stop whoever's out there. If it's the best player, tallest guy, the shortest guy, it don't matter. I'm going to take on that matchup every time I step on the court.
Quentin, and then you briefly touched on it with how you did with when there were injuries with the Knicks. What about the Mavericks offensively? How can they utilize you in ways that you weren't able to do with New York or Detroit briefly?
Yeah, I feel like just watching Dallas in the playoffs, you could just tell like shooting was kind of one of the emphasis they were kind of big on this offseason, adding Klay, one of the best shooters of all time, and just with Kai, Luka, like the spacing is going to be just open for me to make plays off the dribble even now because we just have so much space and just driving it, kicking it, reading the defense, throwing lobs to the bigs like Gaff and D-Live. So just really be able to show just my whole arsenal, my whole game being here really.
Lindsay came with Real Talk Sports, got a chance to talk to you during the summer at the camp for the Mavs, so appreciate your time. A fun non-basketball related question for you. Did you have a song of the summer? What was your energy this offseason?
Song of the summer? I wish I had my phone on me.
You got to know what's on the top of that playlist.
Yeah, like what I was listening to recently.
Or artists.
Right. It's a new artist called Avenue. He's from I think he's from Toronto.
Okay.
And he kind of like more of an R&B, like Brent Fires vibe. So I've been on him heavy. So you gotta check him out.
Okay.
You gotta check him out.
Okay, bet.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then
For sure.
lastly, we know it's more of a veteran team, so who would you trust on the aux this season with the music of your teammates?
On the aux, I gotta go with my boy PJ. AJ putting his hand up. I ain't heard him on the aux just yet, but I know PJ got some good songs. I've known him for a while. Texas kid just like me, so I'm gonna go with PJ.
All right, I'm gonna tell you, trust AJ to play some of the Gunna.
I got you. Bad.
Appreciate it.
All right, Quentin, Chris Henderson, chendo.com. So this is a two-part question. For the fans that don't know this, you have a brother that plays professional hockey.
Yeah.
And just how's the household with that? Because you're a basketball player, he's a hockey player. How is that? Because I've seen you root for him. I've seen you in the Canucks, sweat all the time. And my second question is, for the fans, just for you growing up, Who was some of your favorite basketball players?
Yeah, first of all, my mom runs the house. She gives my dad a hard time talking about she's the most athletic. She gets all the kids the genes in the family, so she's the one that talks the most trash about it. But having an older brother like that kind of got me started early about taking the game a lot serious because he's been in the league. I think he's going to his 15th year in NHL, so he's been in the league a while. So I kind of started changing my diet and taking tips from him around my 10th, 11th grade year in high school. So having a guy like that just in a family, in a whole different sport, but it's still the same aspect as a professional athlete, taking tips nutrition-wise, taking care of your body, stuff like that. It was kind of big for me to have somebody like that I can use as a resource and just call and just kind of just take little tidbits and add to my routine and stuff like that. So that was always a big benefit of having a guy like that in the family. And then favorite players growing up definitely was Kobe. T-Mac when he was in Houston around that time for sure, because T-Mac is still heavily influenced in Houston to this day. T-Mac, D Rose, just had retired. I had one of my first jerseys was D Rose jersey, so he retiring the other day was kind of like a kind of surreal feeling. Then being able to play with him was even more surreal. So probably those are my three for sure.
Quinn, you were able to spend time with your teammates throughout the offseason, specifically in LA. What were your impressions of this team's strengths based on those interactions and those kind of scrimmages?
Yeah, I think just the biggest thing is just the camaraderie we have from just being with each other for 5 days. It feel like we've been with this team for 2-3 years. Just the way everybody's interacting with each other. We had a whole yacht day. Klay set up the whole yacht day. Was on the boat from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. It was crazy. So I just knowing, talking to a few of the guys, that's pretty rare for a team to have something like that early, or just in the offseason in general. And then we've been hooping every day. It's just crazy just knowing the camaraderie we already have as a team. I think it's pretty special. And I think that translates to the court where even if you have a bad little stretch, you still come together as a team because you kind of know more about that person versus just him being your teammate. So I feel like that's going to take us a long way just because it's 82-game season. It's going to be times where you may win 2 in a row, drop 3 in a row, something like that. But y'all been through way more than that. So I think it's easier when you know you can go into war with somebody that you really know and genuine about it.
You played against a lot of these guys before in the past. Now that you're teammates, has anything surprised you or caught you off guard about them?
Nah, not really. What you see, what you get. Luka, Kai, Klay, don't miss a shot for real. So it's I'm taking tips of everybody's game, watching Klay how he prepares, the shot preparation, Kai, his handles, how he prepares for the game, just our workouts in general. It's just it's gonna be really fun for me to study these guys every single day in practice.
Hi, Quentin. Dana Larson with Mavs TV. I wondered about the coaches that you've played for in your past in college and in the NBA, how that's prepared you for the emphasis that Jason Kidd will have on the defensive end here.
Yeah, I play for nothing but hard-nosed, tough defensive coaches-minded coaches. So I feel like just playing for Coach Sampson, playing for Tibbs, people who really emphasize defense at the forefront. I feel like that's my motto, just coming in, trying to just stop the other team. And then with J. Kidd, just being able to, whatever he needs from me, guarding for whoever. It can go from Trae Young, Jason Tatum, it doesn't really matter. I'm going to take on that challenge every time I step on the court. I would just really just be a dog, honestly. Just coming in and trying to stop anybody, whoever. If they make a tough shot, it's gonna be a tough shot. Like I said, it's gonna be something that you worked for. And if you make it, tip your hat to them. Try to make it super hard every time you step on the court.
Along those lines, how much did you watch, or were you aware of what Derek brought to this team last year, defensively, the grit and all of that stuff? And how much do you feel like, hey, that's something I can step into?
Yeah, he had a phenomenal year for Dallas last year. You could just tell, he looked really comfortable during the whole season, the playoffs. He was great for him the whole time. So just watching a guy like that, you don't want that to be a drop off wherever you go. So you come in. You don't have to change much because that's who I am, coming in as the type of player, gritty, come in, make the toughness, not going for nothing type of thing like PJ did and stood on business last year. So just come in, just play my game, really.
All right, last one for Quentin.
Hey, Quentin. Landon Thomas, Mavs Fans for Life. Welcome to Dallas. Just looking back, what was the initial reaction to the trade going to Dallas, coming off the finals appearance, and then also, you just said it earlier, Texas kid.
Yeah.
How does it feel to play in the NBA in Texas instead of being the road team? You're now the home team.
Yeah, well, when I first got the call, I mean, I was super excited just knowing Dallas cause I knew they had been trying to get me for a while now, like past couple years. So just being able to come to a team that just came off a finals run and probably was just right there knocking on the door of winning the championship, I was just super excited to just come to the team and bring what I know I can do every single night to the team and hopefully get that ring this upcoming season. And then, just like I said, being a Texas kid, like you're not too far from home, but you're not in home, which is, I think, pretty good. So my mom got to drive just like 3-4 hours to come holler at me. So I think that's pretty good. So, but yeah, I'm gonna have a lot of family at the game, which is good to see familiar faces. They ain't gotta take a 3-hour flight to New York. It's cold up there. I'm used to Texas weather, being in Houston during the most of the off season. So it's gonna be pretty fun just having a lot of familiar faces at the game and stuff. Yeah, I don't want to be in that city, but y'all still gotta make your way to come see me. So it's perfect enough for me.
Awesome. Thanks, Quentin. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Luka's tired or something, maybe I do that. If it needs to be spot-up shooting because Kyrie's cooking, and I do that. If Klay's cooking, I need to be passing him the ball, and you do that. And, if all three are rolling and you got to play defense, I mean, we even saw that with the Lakers. Like, in the last, 15, 20 games of the season, they relied on me as, like, the end-of-game stopper, And so just doing whatever it takes to win.
Hey, Spencer, Landon Thomas, Mavs Fans for Life. First of all, welcome back.
Thank you.
Just going off of your response, that's one of the biggest things about your game is the adaptability and the versatility as well, being able to play a role on which team, wants from you.
Yeah.
Where's that come from? A lot of players just have roles, but you can
have
fluidity.
I mean, probably the fact that, one, like I'm always trying to win the game, so every decision I'm making is with that in mind. Like, I'm not coming in with preconceived notions or anything like that. But then, two, probably because my basketball road has been very up and down. Like, I wasn't the number one recruit in high school, and so every point in time, like, you kind of have to figure out how to play with a different team, a different big-time player. It could be that the big man is the big-time guy, so now you're feeding him. It could be that there's another guard you're playing off of. And then sometimes you are the guy, too. So, like, I've had to I've literally in the NBA been 15th on the bench, like knew I wasn't playing, like I might as well have just worn street clothes even though I had a jersey on, all the way up to really probably about like second, you know what I'm saying? And then even moonlighted as a one when like the top guy would be hurt or something like that, and average 20, 30, game winners, this, that, and the third, done all of it, you know what I mean? So it's just figuring out where you fit, how you help the specific team you're on, and going from there.
Looking in, when you see this team in the finals, well, just what was your assessment of the team and now that you're coming into a new season?
Well, obviously this team is different, especially adding Klay and losing D. Jones, who I think brought a ton of athleticism and defense obviously to the team. But overall, I mean, I in the finals, like I kind of said, the Celtics they were able to put 5 guys out there that could all kind of shoot, and it kind of bent the defense a little bit, and they knocked down shots, and they were, able to win a championship. So hats off to them. Obviously, the ball club that's, in this room all wants to win, understands where they fell short last year. We're all bought into that idea of doing it. We understand we need health, good fortune, all that other stuff to go our way, but that's the North Star, and that's the goal.
Right here in the front, Valencia King. Come on. Do we want to air guitar battle? Because I will win.
No, I don't want that.
Okay, I can do it.
They make theirs and whatnot, and I'm never gonna shy away from that. So there we go.
Very glad to have you back. Welcome back. Serious question, real serious.
Yeah.
You put a poll on your Instagram, if memory serves me correct, about hair, no hair.
Yeah.
What was the deciding factor for the decision?
Oh, my mom.
Yeah. What'd she say? What'd she say?
She just like it when I cut my hair. She thinks I look like cleaner and younger and all that. And I'm not homeless, so I was like, all right. Basically.
Shout out to moms for keeping it real.
Yeah.
Shout out to mine. Okay.
There you go.
And outside of that, for your off season, obviously you're not new to having a good off season. But what was the most enjoyable part for you outside of basketball? I know you said you got the family home here in Dallas, so.
I mean, this didn't happen in the off season, but it happened leading up to my off season. My second son was born, so that was cool. So now I got like a little fat version of my dad, like crying in the house. No, I'm serious. He look like he looks like he's 65, but he's 6 months. I promise you. Y'all laughing, I'm being serious. Yeah.
Has it been being a dad of two? Is that an adjustment for you?
I'm not even gonna sit here and lie to y'all. I have a nanny, so like, there's help. But I love being a dad. I don't like diapers, but all the fun stuff, like, it's great. Like when they smile, like there's nothing that matches that. There's no, high or warmth or anything. It just changes your day. So, I love that for sure.
Listen, my show is Real Talk Sports, so we definitely appreciate the real talk.
The real talk, there it is.
All right, last one for Spence.
And this is a two-part question, Spence.
What's up?
Chris with CNO.com.
Yeah.
When you got the news before you made, obviously, your decision, Klay Thompson was coming to the Mavericks.
Yeah.
What was your thoughts about that? Did that help make your decision to come back?
I mean, yeah. Like I said, you want to play meaningful basketball. I think, primarily, again, like, you have some other options, but primarily, again, it was like Lakers, Mavs. You know what I'm saying? So, I made a different decision this time. I mean,
And last question. So this is a unique situation. I've asked the two other guys that have signature shoes. There's 4 guys on this team, including yourself.
I know.
How is that?
Be
Because
nice.
you got Luka, Jordan Brand, the two
Yeah.
Anta guys, and you got 361. I want you to talk about that because it's
Yeah.
Aaron Gordon, yourself, and Jokic, right?
Yeah.
Can you talk about that, Brand, and just how is it to have 4 guys on the team with signature shoes?
I mean, it seems kind of unprecedented, to be honest. I don't know of another time that happened. You want me to talk about 361 or just like, oh, yeah, nah. I mean, they're a Chinese brand. They're really big in China. One thing that I've noticed is that they gravitate towards stories of hard work and perseverance, and I think that's one of the reasons why we align so well. Obviously, coming off ACL and like I kind of mentioned the recovery and all that stuff, and hooping. I mean, shit, I was averaging like 21 at the time, so. And then it was a good marriage. I had my own shoe prior to that, and then we kind of collaborated. Now they do all the stuff, and they've been a dream partner to work with. I love my signature shoe. The third one's coming out this year with 361. I'm actually wearing Elijah's colorway. It's always like a green one, which y'all have seen before, obviously, on the Mavs court. So, yeah, we got like, another like 10, 12 colorways coming, and yeah, it's fun. It's fun.
We all silly like the mayor.